What's up, everybody? It's your favorite life coach. I just want to jump on this morning and give you a little word of encouragement to get you through your day and give you this little nugget of the day. So this morning I want to talk about daring to be different, how it's important to own your different. For a long time I struggled with this, and I knew that I was different. It wasn't because I knew that I was called. I just knew that I was just different. The way God had created me, I've always been one that's been very open and honest. I've been very transparent. I say what's on my mind. I don't sugarcoat it. And, sometimes people say, oh, you're too radical, or you're too this, you're too that. And I have to be careful about that because, I also have to keep grounded and remind myself that also this is how God made you. God don't always make people who's going to give you a feel-good sermon or make you feel good all the time to where you want to pass around the offering plate and things like that. He's not always going to give you the gift of exhortation or rebuke things, so own your gift and how God has given it to you. So like I said, for a long time, I've always danced to the beat of my own drum, and sometimes in ministry they don't like that. There's a certain style and way they want you to dress, act, and carry out, and I just, it wasn't me. It was like I was always putting on a mask, and it just felt like it was a lie. So be careful about leaders you get under. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong, because God has order to everything. But for me, I like to wear holy jeans, and they don't want you wearing holy jeans. And, it makes you think, well, what about come as you are? And God don't care about that. He cares about your heart and all that. Well, when leaders teach you things like this, it throws all that out the window, right? So, I never could grasp that, because I was just like, what's my jeans got to do with how I teach and how I help people? So be mindful under leaders who, I call it ministry manipulation. So basically, it ain't necessarily wrong what you're doing, but it ain't how they want you to do it, okay? So you got to be careful about that, because sometimes they will make you think you're different. There's something wrong with it. And I've been under leadership where I didn't know better. I was just so hungry for God that I just wanted him to use me, that I didn't recognize it then. But that's why you got to have wisdom, and you got to get in this word for yourself, because God will show you and he will reveal people. But they would tell me, you're a leader. Don't let people know you got issues. You got to act like you got it together. And in my mind, I was like, that's a lie. And that's the very thing that I'm talking about. If it don't feel right, then you need to go to God, because, baby, if God ain't convicting you of it, can't nobody else tell you not to do it, okay? So that's what I stand on, and that's how I know that if what I'm doing is truly wrong or what, I ask God to show me, and that's what I go off. So, embrace those differences. Many of you guys know me, my hair is kind of growing out now, but I'm about to cut it back off. But, I love to wear the mohawk. I love fashion. I love to dress up and look nice and sexy for my husband, because that's my husband. There's nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with having a good time. We're living in an age, in a world where we need people out here to be dancing with their spouse and laughing and having a good time and showing the world that you can be a Christian and still have fun. That's our issue. We're out here, we done got too religious. We're too religious, and we're too caught up in these rules and what we should and can't do. But there's nothing wrong going out with your husband, having a good time, and showing the world this is what true love should look like. Because this world that we're living in, men sleeping with men, women sleeping with women. Now, I'm not judging you, but that ain't what this word talks about. So I can't ride with you on that. You know what I'm saying? So I can only talk about what the word says. And so all this other stuff that's going on, out here, it's just crazy. Now we're just living in a time where, people don't even want to get married and stuff like that anymore. So let me share something with you before I go on tangent this morning. So Jeremiah 1:5 says, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart and appointed you as my prophet to the nations. Come on, somebody. I don't know about you, but that speaks to me, because that lets me know that the ways that I have and that I am, I'm not crazy. That's the way God created me. Like, me and my husband was having a conversation this morning. He said, well, baby, go on, get up and get your coffee and get your day started. And I said, well, I ain't even had no coffee this morning. He's like, what? Normally you ain't in a good mood in the morning before you have no coffee, because my motto is no coffee, baby, no talkie. I'm just not one of those people, and I told him, I said, I kind of laughed. I said, we all don't wake up singing every morning, because he's that person. He wakes up, he's happy most days, he's singing, he's having a good time. And me, I'm like that old lawnmower out there, baby. You got to pull my string a couple times to get me crunk. I can't, I just can't, I don't wake up like that. And, I needed a little bit of quiet time in the morning to get my thoughts together and wipe the sleep out of my eyes and have me a little coffee. And I told him, I said, we all don't wake up singing every morning. I said, but I'm working on it. I said, I've never been that person. I tried to do it, but God created us all different. And that's what got this message started this morning, because I told him, I said, God created us all different. We all can't wake up and be the birds chirping in the morning. Some of us got to be the fox lurking in the morning, okay? So how many of y'all are the fox? The fox, that's me. I'm up lurking. I've been out hunting all night and tired and, growling, a little grouchy or whatever. So it takes me a minute to get going. But even in that, God, that's what God's going to use. God's going to use our differences. And for a long time, I wouldn't talk. I didn't like my voice. I thought it sounded country. I thought it sounded twangy. And I wouldn't use my voice because I didn't like it. But then I caught myself one day, and I was praying. I said, Lord, I want you to use me to help people in such a way that when they hear my voice, they already know who I am, for they see my face. And the Holy Spirit whispered to me, he said, I already have, but you refuse to use it. Baby, talking about conviction, I was convicted. And from then on, I started doing these little nuggets of the day and things like that. I had to get out of my head and my fear of how it sounded and use my voice. And what we have to realize is, some of you have been called to teach, some of you have been called to preach, to sing, to mentor, to do all these things, but you're sitting on those gifts because there's one thing about it that you don't like, and you won't step outside of it because you don't like it. Well, guess what? That's going to be the one thing that God uses. The main thing that you don't like, that's going to be the main thing he uses. Mark my word, because my voice has been the main thing that God has used. And you have some people, they love the country twang and but I've even taken a class, to public speaking class, to try to get over it. And don't, I'm not telling you to do that. Don't do that. Like, God created you. He said, before you were born, I set you apart. So he already knew. He already knew the things that we don't like. He knew we didn't like our voice. Sometimes just the smallest of things will hold us back because we don't like it. So I'm encouraging you today, no matter what it is, embrace it. Hey, God just wants you to be obedient, and that's the main thing the devil don't want you to do, baby. He don't want you to be obedient, because the devil knows what your purpose is too. So I encourage you today, no matter what it is that sets you apart. You may be a bad makeup artist, and you can do makeup and eyelashes, eyebrows on fleek, all of that. You can do it like nobody else, but you're sitting on that gift because you don't want people to say this or that or whatever. Don't worry about what the world says. The world can't appoint you. They can't open no doors for you. Only God can do that. So I promise you guys, the moment that you start walking in that thing and those gifts that he's given you and those talents, despite how you feel, he will start opening up doors, because all he's waiting on you to do is obedient. Because once you take one step, he's going to take three. That's right. I skipped two. I said three, because I know, baby, my God, he has done some amazing things to me. You could ask my mama. You could ask my mother-in-law. About 8 years ago, I wouldn't be doing these videos right here. It wasn't because then I didn't like my voice. It was because I was shy. I would do anything you asked me to do behind the scenes, but baby, don't bring me to the front. Don't put no light on me. Don't give me any kind of recognition. I don't want that. But see, this is what obedience bursts. It's removed that fear. It's given me confidence. It allows me to open up my mouth and know that when I open up my mouth, God is going to give me the words that I need. And it's given me confidence. It's given me faith that, faith without works is dead. And for a long time, I didn't really understand that verse. I had to really, it wasn't until actually a few years ago, I realized that I can't just have faith and pray about it and that God's going to do it. The work part is on me. He's waiting on me to do the obedience and walk it out. That's what we're going to talk about next is obedience. But for today, like I said, you just got to do it. You got to do it scared. You got to do it not knowing how to do it. You got to do it not caring what people's going to think about you. And like I said, it don't matter what they say or think. It only matters what God said. And one thing you don't want to be is disobedient. There's something happening. There's a shift that's happening. God in this season, He's moving. He's going to do things and use people in a way that it's going to be mind blowing, that they never thought that was going to happen before. He's going to open up some doors, but it's going to take you to do it. It's going to take you to get up and be obedient and get off those gifts and not worry about what people say. So whatever it is that makes you different, that sets you apart. God said, I already set you apart. Use that thing to your benefit, because I promise you, mark my word. What is today? June, I think it's the 14th. Mark my word. July 14th, my bad. God will use that thing. You just be consistent in it, and that's what makes you better. You got to practice. So no matter what it is, you may just be starting out, so you may not be confident in it now, but the more you do it, the more you're going to become confident in that. So that's all I got for you guys today. Dare to be different. Embrace those differences. And I will see you later on this week. But I encourage you to dare to be different. No matter what it is that makes you stand out, you rock that thing. Y'all have a great day. Love you guys.